Hey everybody, I hope y'all are having a great day today. I decided to step outside and do my video today. I hope the wind doesn't blow my stuff away. It's pretty windy where I live at. But anyways, it's been a beautiful day today. I hope you've been out enjoying it. Since tomorrow is Earth Day, and Miss Greta will be on with you tomorrow, and I'm sure she'll talk about Earth Day some with you. But our first Earth Day was celebrated in 1970. So this has been 70, 80, 90... 60 years of Earth Day? Wow. So tomorrow will be a big day. Lots of fun stuff. It's going to be a beautiful day, so hopefully we can give you some ideas of things to get outside and celebrate Earth Day. But I thought I would read to you a book that's kind of Earth Day themed, sort of, kind of, but not really. But it's still things that have to do with Earth Day and taking care of the earth and keeping the earth clean. A lot of people like to plant flowers on Earth Day. Of course, picking up litter would be a good thing to do, but right now we're cautioning people about picking up litter because the virus may live on surfaces for 2 or 3 days. So let's not do that. But we can get out and make where we live at look very beautiful and pretty indeed. So anyways, this book is called City Green. So, of course, these people, their neighborhood where they live at, they are urban. They live in the city. Of course, a lot of us are rural, but this is still a good book. I'll have some good ideas for you. There used to be a building right here on this lot. It was 3 floors up and down, an empty building nailed up and shut for as long as I could remember. My friend Miss Rosa told me Old Man Hammer used to live there. Some other neighbors too. But when I asked him about that, he only hollered, "Scram! Old Man Hammer, hard as nails." Last year, 2 people from the city came by dressed in suits and holding papers. They said this building is unsafe. It will have to be torn down. By winter, a crane with a wrecking ball was parked outside. Mama gathered everyone to watch from our front window. In 3 slow blows, that building was knocked into a heap of pieces. Then workers took the rubble away in a truck and filled the hole with dirt. So, even sometimes getting rid of old buildings makes places look more beautiful, don't they? Even just giving things an old coat of paint. But since this building was unsafe, I'm sure it was good for it to be torn down. Now this block looks like a big smile with 1 tooth missing. Old Man Hammer sits on his stoop and shakes his head. "Look at that piece of junk land on a city block," Old Man Hammer says. "Once that building could have been saved, but nobody even tried. And every day when I pass this lot, it makes me sad to see it. Every single day." Then spring comes, and right on schedule, Miss Rosa starts cleaning her coffee cans. Miss Rosa and I keep coffee cans outside our windowsills. Every year we buy 2 packets of seeds at the hardware store, sometimes marigolds, sometimes zinnies, and one time we tried tomatoes. We go to the park, scoop some dirt, and fill up the cans halfway. So they're not able to have a garden where they live at in the city because the buildings are so close together, so they have windowsill gardens. But we're going to see, they're going to do something pretty special with this empty lot. But look right now, there was that rundown junky building, but now look at it, there's litter everywhere. And over here in the snow, the litter was covered up, but now that it's springtime, there's litter everywhere. A lot of times that happens in places where it looks like people don't care and where people don't maintain it and keep it clean and stuff. People are more apt to throw their litter out there. And when they see 1 piece of litter, a lot of times that makes them think that it's okay to throw out more pieces of litter. So now there's litter all over the place. This time, Old Man Hammer stops us on the way to the park. "This good-for-nothing lot has plenty of dirt right here," he says. Then all at once I look at Miss Rosa, and she is smiling back at me. "A lot of dirt," Miss Rosa says. "Like 1 big coffee can," I say. That's when we decide to do something about this lot. Quick as a wink, I'm digging away, already thinking of gardens and flowers, but Old Man Hammer shakes his finger. "You can't dig more dirt than that. This lot is city property." Picture of them digging. Miss Rosa and I go to see Mr. Bennett, he used to work for the city. I seem to remember a program he said that lets people rent empty lots. That's how Miss Rosa and I form a group of people from our block. We pass around a petition that says we want to lease this lot. In less than a week, we have plenty of names. Sign with us, I ask Old Man Hammer. I'm not signing nothing, he says, and nothing is what's going to happen. But something did. The next week, a bunch of us take a bus to City Hall. We walk up the steps to the proper office and hand the woman our list. She checks her files and types some notes and makes some copies. That will be $1, please. We rent the lot from the city that day. It was just as simple as that. Saturday morning, I'm up with the sun and looking at this lot. My mama looks out too. Marcy, she says, and hugs me close. Today, I'm helping you and Rosa. After shopping, Mama empties her grocery bags and folds them flat to carry under her arm. Come on, Mrs. B, Mama tells her friend, we're going to clear this lot. Then what do you know? But my brother comes along. My brother is tall and strong. At first he scratches his neck and shakes his head just like Old Man Hammer. But Mama smiles and says, none of that here. So all day long he piles junk in those bags and carries them to the curb. And look at there, there's Old Man Hammer sitting there being all grumpy. Now this time of day is early. Neighbors pass by and see what we're doing. Most say, we want to help too. They have a little time to spare. Then this one calls that one and that one calls another. Come on and help, I call to Old Man Hammer. I'm not helping nobody, he hollers. Y'all are wasting your time. Sour grapes, my moma'd say, and sour grapes is right. Just before supper, when we are good and hungry, my mama looks around this lot. Marcy, she says, you're making something happen here. Next day, the city drops off tools like rakes and brooms and a dumpster for trash. Now there's even more neighbors to help. Miss Rosa, my brother, and I say good morning to Old Man Hammer, but Old Man Hammer just waves us like he's swatting a fly. Why is Old Man Hammer so mean and cranky these days, my brother asks. Maybe he's really sad, I tell him. Maybe he misses his building. That rotten old building, my brother shrugs. He should be happy the city tore down that mess. Give him time, Miss Rosa says. Good things take time. Mr. Bennett brings wood, old slats he saved, and nails in a cup. I knew all along I saved them for something, he says. This wood's good wood. Then Mr. Rocco from 2 houses down comes, carrying 2 cans of paint. I'll never use these, he says. The color's too bright. But here, this lot could use some brightening up. And there he is with his paint. Well, anyone can tell with all the excitement that something is going on, and everyone has an idea about what to plant. Strawberries, carrots, lettuce, and more. Tulips and daisies, petunias, and more. Sonny turns the dirt over with a snow shovel. Even Leslie's baby tries to dig with a spoon. For lunch, Miss Rosa brings milk and jelly and bread and spreads a beach towel where the junk is cleared. By the end of the day, a fence is built and painted as bright as the sun. And there's that little baby scooping in the dirt too. See, everybody wants to get together and help. And that's what Earth Day is about. All of us working together to try to make the earth a more beautiful place. Later, Mama kisses my cheek and closes my bedroom door. By the streetlights, I see Old Man Hammer come down his steps to open the gate and walk to the back of this lot. He bends down quick, sprinkling something from his pocket and covering it over with dirt. In the morning, I tell my brother, oh, Marcy, he says, you're dreaming. You're wishing too hard. But I know what I saw, and I tell my mama, Old Man Hammer's planted some seeds. So see, even Old Man Hammer's going to get involved. Right after breakfast, I walk to the back of this lot, and there it is, a tiny raised bed of soil. It is neat and tidy, just like the rows we've planted. Now I know for sure that Old Man Hammer planted something, so I pat the soil for good luck and make a little fence to keep the seeds safe. And like their Old Man Hammer's going to act like he didn't do anything after being so grumpy, huh? Every day I go for a look inside our garden lot. Our neighbors stop in too. One day Mrs. Wells comes by. This is right where my grandmother's bedroom used to be, she says. That's why I planted my flowers here. I feel sad when I hear that. With all the digging and planting and weeding and watering, I forgot about that a building had been on this lot. Old Man Hammer had lived there too. I go to the back where he planted his seeds. I wonder if this was the place where his room used to be. I look down. Beside my feet, some tiny stems are sprouting. Old Man Hammer's seeds have grown. I run to his stoop. Come with me, I beg, tugging at his hand. You'll want to see. I walk him past the hollyhocks, the daisies, the peppers, the rows of lettuce. I show him the strawberries that I planted. When Old Man Hammer sees his little garden bed, his sour grapes turn sweet. Marcy, child, he shakes his head, this lot was good for nothing. Now it's nothing but good, he says. Soon summertime comes, and this lot really grows. It fills with vegetables and herbs and flowers, and way in the back, taller than anything else, is a beautiful patch of yellow sunflowers. Old Man Hammer comes every day. He sits in the sun, eats his lunch, and sometimes comes back with his supper. Nobody knows how the sunflowers came, not Leslie, my brother, or Miss Rosa, not Mr. Bennett or Sonny or anyone else. But Old Man Hammer just sits there smiling at me. We know whose flowers they are. So Old Man Hammer planted those sunflowers. Can't be too grumpy if you like sunflowers. Those are pretty happy flowers. So in this page talks about starting a community garden, which we don't do around here because most of us live out in the country. So we don't have to worry about that. The wind blew my book away, but that's okay. So anyways, that's just a good little story about how everybody needs to come together on Earth Day and work together to try to make a lovely place, a beautiful place in our community and in our neighborhoods. So tomorrow is Earth Day, so we're going to urge you guys to get out and make your area where you live at more beautiful. And of course, we'll have some ideas throughout the day. I've already posted some scavenger hunts to get the kids outside looking for things, but it'll also be a good day to get out and make things look more beautiful, of course, like we've said. So anyways, we're going to make a craft today. Okay, real quick before I go. You need an egg carton. You will need a pair of scissors. And you will need some kind of stick. A straw would be good, but we quit using straws. We use reusable straws now. So I went downstairs and poked around, and I found an old dowel rod type thing that I guess my daughter had used, of course, because it's pink, but we're probably not going to be using it for anything else. I'm going to use it for my craft today. So since I read the book City Green, we're going to make a flower today. So you'll also need some paint or some markers. The cardboard type, it's not really cardboard, but the paperboard type egg cartons that are made out of paper would probably work better for this craft. But I like those because we have chickens, and I like to keep my eggs in those because they're sturdier. When you get weight on one side, the styrofoam likes to collapse. So I like to keep my ones made out of the paper, the thicker cardboard type stuff. So I used a styrofoam one, so it's probably still wet. Takes a little bit longer for it to dry. I did paint it. So I painted 4 corners of it, and I've got my little center for my flower where the little stamen and all that stuff goes. It's going to be a pretty little flower. So now that I've got it painted, I'm just going to cut this off, these 4 that I painted. If you noticed how beautiful of a painter I am, I got it even into the next section that I wasn't supposed to paint because I'm a messy painter. But that's okay, right? Alright, so now I have my little flower. Okay, and I'm going to take my stem, and that's why the styrofoam would probably work better for that, because I'm just going to be able to poke it up right through the middle there. I'm going to have to lay it down and do it here. Okay. So anyways, there is my wet but pretty red flower for Earth Day. Alright, so I hope you guys have a good rest of the afternoon. Miss Greta will be on tomorrow. We may post different things throughout the day to help you celebrate Earth Day, but we hope you get out and you do something to help the earth. We'll see you guys tomorrow. Stay safe and stay well. Bye.